All right, welcome back. We are working on your final exam. This is the review video for question number 3. This question is one that we talked about in class last week on July 10th, that we talked about in class last week, and it's about stress management. Just so that you know, there is an entire class at TCC about stress management, and we just touch on it briefly in College Success, and we touch on it very specifically in a brief way. So for this question, if you remember from our class discussion, what you're going to do is come up with 3 examples, specific examples of things in your life that cause you stress. And you're thinking in terms of 3 C's here: causes, coping, and consequences. So if I, for example, say that the first thing that causes me stress is my English class because I'm a really poor writer, that would be a source of stress. And even more specifically, I could say, the paper that I have due next week that I haven't started because I'm lacking confidence in my writing ability. So that's the cause of stress, is the English paper. The way to cope with that stress is to plan some time to sit down and start to write, and do it early enough so that I can take my paper to the writing center and get some feedback on it. So that's a coping mechanism. And then a consequence to not dealing with my stress is that I continue to put off my paper and I end up throwing something together at the last minute and not doing well on it. So that's exactly what we're doing here, not kind of. For this question, you're going to choose more stressful things, and you're going to do it exactly like that. So you'll write down a cause. Another example, one thing that might be causing you stress is that you don't have enough money to buy groceries. And a way to cope with that is to look at your budget and figure out if something else can go, or if maybe you're buying food at a place that's too expensive. Just brainstorm some ideas to be able to afford to buy food. And a consequence if you don't do that is that you will go hungry or continue to eat unhealthy foods because they're the cheapest foods or something like that. So that's what we're doing here, that regular flow. We're looking for a cause, we're looking for a way to cope with it, and we're looking for a consequence. Now ideally, the coping techniques are going to be positive, like getting more exercise, looking at your budget, stuff like that. And try to veer away from the negative coping techniques like we talked about in class. All right, that's it. That was pretty short and sweet. Let's move on to the next one.